All right, guys, welcome back to ETB Boxing. Today, we're going to bring you Manny Pacquiao versus Juan Manuel Marquez, number 4. With no commentary, I will be saying a few things in between the fight, maybe during the fight, but I wanted to see. I haven't seen this fight in a long time. I want to see it for you. This is the full fight. We did a couple fights a couple weeks ago, and YouTube was okay with it, I guess, as long as I'm doing this commentary. So after the round, I will start speaking, but I'm just going to speak 1 minute, just like they give the boxers rest. That's all I'm going to do so we can keep the flow of the fight. Let's watch Juan Manuel Marquez versus Manny Pacquiao, that epic fight number 4, where we had an entirely different outcome for those of you that have seen it. Let's check out this fight. Let's get into it. Let's live another historic moment with these legendary boxing matches. Of course, we don't get that anymore, or we haven't in a while, but let's see what a real boxing fight should look like between these two legends, Juan Manuel Marquez versus Manny Pacquiao 4.
Considered a clean punch. Now, gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. I want you to keep this fight clean at all times.
Look at the intense look. You could tell the rivalry is real. Look at that stare down. I believe in this last fight, they were fighting at 147 at this point. Marquez had fought Mayweather. And Manny Pacquiao had already moved up and was just dominating at this division. Manny Pacquiao really showing that speed. You know, for these two, there's really no feel-out rounds anymore since they've had 3 complete fights with each other. They really know what they're dealing with in front of them. Good body shot by Marquez. Good straight left by Manny Pacquiao. You know, we really can't appreciate how fast Manny Pacquiao was. Just so fast.
Good first round. One of the things about Manny Pacquiao is once he gets bouncing, once he gets comfortable, and once he starts coming in and out, it's really, really hard to control him. And I think that's what Marquez does pretty well, is he makes him think about coming in and out. And I think that was the whole part of the chess match, but not an easy task. If you have Manny Pacquiao in front of you and making him pay every time he comes in and out. And Marquez was one of the best that did it, but up until this point, he had not won one match between himself and Manny Pacquiao.
Go to round 2. Eric Morales and Manny Pacquiao in their first fight did a really good job moving to the left consistently. I think that was part of his success. You can see Marquez doing a little bit of that, but Marquez, I believe, is a sharper counterpuncher than Morales and relies more on catching Manny Pacquiao versus just moving to the left and putting Manny Pacquiao off position to counter him. I think he tries to counter him in between some of that movement. Also, in comparison to Eric Morales, I think Marquez just has better balance overall. Good body punch by Manny Pacquiao. People forget about his body punches. Nice. You can see Marquez ducking to not get hit by that straight left. But that's something he learned after getting knocked out 3 times in the first round between their first encounter. Something he definitely learned. He's able to come back. Nice straight left. Might have learned the lesson, but Manny Pacquiao might be too fast to learn that lesson completely. Unbelievable. The lack of some of the action might frustrate the audience, but that's just how much respect these two boxers have for each other. They know that they're both dangerous and that any mistake could cost them the fight.
Really, just typical Marquez and Pacquiao action. Take a little to give, but really, one of the differences I notice about this fight compared to the other fights is they're not at their physical peak anymore at this time. I don't believe so. Even though they're still fast, they're still strong, but I think here you're seeing their intellectual mind really, really show. You could see their boxing IQ really kick in this last fight between Marquez and Pacquiao. Good stuff.
Now, of course, Marquez is now fighting at 147, had new trainers. Some people criticize some of the allegations of his strength trainer and performance-enhancing drugs. We don't know if that was the case here. We know that Marquez tested negative for any performance drugs, but that is something that is associated a little bit behind this fight. But nevertheless, it was still a lot of action. And we're seeing Manny Pacquiao is bringing on the fire. Just had a gas tank, this Manny Pacquiao. Marquez keeping him honest with his jab. Nice, tricky little straight left by Manny Pacquiao. Nice body punch by Marquez. You could really hear the thunder behind every punch between these two champions. Oh, and there goes the first knockdown between the two. And I think that stunned Manny Pacquiao. Did not expect that much power to come from Marquez since he's fought him so many rounds. But this was a different Marquez with different type of power. And not only that, it gave Marquez confidence and something to place doubt into Manny Pacquiao's boxing psyche. But I think Manny Pacquiao is just calculating and absorbing here and thinking, okay, I feel the power. I'm still the champion. Look at these two go. Wow.
In so many ways, I think that knockdown, although helped him on the scorecards, I think in many ways it allowed Marquez to win exchange a little bit more, which you never want to do with a Manny Pacquiao. I don't think Manny Pacquiao was really hurt. I think it was more of a flash knockdown. You know, not really totally hurt, but beautifully executed overhand right by Marquez. I think Marquez was stunned. He was stunned. He couldn't even believe it. He was stunned.
And those punches are punches that Marquez had landed in the past, but never really causing any kind of knockdown. If you've seen their fights in the past, you know that Marquez has landed that punch, just not this way. Once again, good body punch by Marquez. Always making Manny pay, but Manny is willing to get punched to land a better punch because he has that talent and he has that speed. Quick little jab there. Manny Pacquiao sneaked in.
Marquez really has been boxing beautifully up to this point, but if you ask me, Marquez looks like the more spent fighter. It takes a lot of energy to really hold someone like Manny Pacquiao and kind of control him. If you notice, Marquez sometimes throws a 1-2 punch. From a fan perspective, maybe some boxers out there think differently, but just to kind of keep him at bay, keep him busy, because once Manny Pacquiao starts darting in, it's really hard to stop that 1-2 combination. You can't even see it. It's so fast. And it's taken a lot of energy up to this point for Marquez to really keep up with this pace.
You hear the crowd chanting for Juan Manuel Marquez, chanting Mexico. I can imagine what the environment felt like that night just to be there. You could see Manny Pacquiao definitely still has tons of energy. That's why they call him the Pac-Man. And there goes Juan Manuel Marquez, goes down. And in many ways, I think it's a similar level of punch as Marquez was. Not very hurt, but stunned. And Manny Pacquiao is trying to take advantage of Juan Manuel Marquez potentially being hurt. And it looks like he is. There goes Marquez with a straight right. Beautiful punch by Manny Pacquiao. And at this point in time, Marquez is really hurt. You could see that he's hurt. Manny Pacquiao smells blood. And the fight is going towards Manny Pacquiao's way at this point. Juan Manuel Marquez looks really vulnerable. Devastating punches.
Saved by the bell. Juan Manuel Marquez really looking withered at the end of round 5. The fight has definitely shifted to Manny Pacquiao. Marquez looks injured. He looks spent. Looks like he has a cut on his nose. Maybe could it be broken? But Manny Pacquiao seems to just have that extra gas tank after the middle of the round. He just seems to have much to, just still has more to give. And he really hurt Marquez there. Really hurt him with the plethora of punches throughout that round. Really special fight here happening.
Wow. Here we go. Again, Marquez looks as he's been getting beat up. Manny Pacquiao's looking clean. At this point in time, Marquez's movement is a little bit limited, and Manny Pacquiao can take advantage of that. So hard to see that punch. And Manny Pacquiao is busting up Juan Manuel Marquez. Beautiful punch again, Manny Pacquiao. He's really breaking down Juan Manuel Marquez in this fight. And for whatever reason, Marquez just abandoned moving to the left and has decided to stand up and fight mano a mano with Manny Pacquiao. If you asked his heart, he said he would say it's the right decision. If you asked his face, he would say it's the wrong decision. Even though both fighters have been down on this fight, Marquez looks like he's been through a more difficult fight in comparison to Manny Pacquiao, just by looking at their body language, looking at their scars and bruises that they have so far accumulated from this fight. And there is the punch heard around the world. The legendary knockout Marquez delivered it to Manny Pacquiao. Knocked out cold.
What an amazing fight. many people in the boxing community that are more professionals and trained probably are aware of this, but that was a very risky move that Juan Manuel delivered there. And that was for him to stay in the pocket, not move to the left from the 1-2, but kind of staying there and try to time it just enough to counter it because it's so fast. And in the first fight, that's what devastated Juan Manuel Marquez. He couldn't time that 1-2 punch from Manny Pacquiao. But in the final fight between these two warriors, between these two legends, Manny Pacquiao finally was timed by Juan Manuel Marquez in their fourth and final fight. The way the fight started is the way it ended, with a devastating demonstration of power. Manny Pacquiao, with his first 3-round knockdowns of Juan Manuel Marquez that he could have very well not gotten up, and Marquez delivering his devastating punch, except Manny Pacquiao did not get up. Guys, I really appreciate you guys stopping by. If you enjoyed the content, click like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be trying to bring you more of this as long as YouTube lets me. That's the punch. That's the story. That's ETB Boxing.